So my name is JAMAICA Zuanetti. I'm from Melbourne, Australia. I'm a playwright. I've always been interested in creative writing and started writing short stories when I was younger, and was always fascinated with theatre and was more of a performer until I realised I was terrified of acting and being on stage. This new piece that I'm writing is a very historical piece, but I still want to have it connected to a contemporary kind of element. So that's what I'm trying to explore at the moment with my piece on, I guess, hysteria, but I feel like I'm moving away from notions of hysterical women and have become more interested in their personal stories of the women at the Salpêtrière. I first discovered the notion of hysteria and hysterical coming from the way that people refer to women when they're overreacting or just having a reaction, actually, and finding the interest there, the core of that really interesting in terms of looking at ancient Greek times and this notion that the womb is, traveling around the woman's body and choking her and making her hysterical, that it's actually the woman's frail body that is causing that. As I've been discovering more and researching, especially with reading medical muses, I really loved Asti Hustved's connection to the physical trauma or the emotional trauma that is expressed kind of in this really manifested in this physical way, and how that then happens across time, that these different traumas that women experience are expressed in a way that's, I guess, appropriate for the time. I don't know, I found it's kind of, there's something ridiculously romantic around this idea as well, which is really strange. I guess I want to demystify that, because the women were kind of seen as these stars, or almost like Hollywood stars in some way. They were kind of recreated, like their trauma was kind of shaped into something beautiful that could be watched. And I find there's something really grotesque. There was a way of dehumanizing these women because they were from lower socioeconomic backgrounds, or they were seen as degenerates because they'd, had parents that were suffering from mental illness, or they were suffering from mental illness, or they were, having sex outside of marriage, just the different ways that we can disqualify humans based on the most ridiculous ideals, and how that's kind of justified the way we treat women's bodies, especially looking at women in detention and the way that we look at abortion laws and how they're kind of going a bit backwards. I feel like there needs to be more in terms of activism. I mean, that might be one thing that I want to get involved in more so. In addition to playwriting, I mean, I feel like playwriting is tricky because it's not an art form that is widespread. It doesn't attract the masses, and something like maybe film or television. But I feel like if you're contributing to society as opposed to consuming all the time, then that's a good thing. But yeah, I think activism is probably a very great thing to get into. So that's probably a thing for my future to incorporate in my art as well, or life.